Welcome to my second channel where everything is unscripted and chill and whatever I want it to be. Today I want to talk about the recent Chappell Roan drama that has hit the internet and why I think it's fake, for one thing. And a creator that I saw on TikTok, very, very honest, and I appreciate when creators do this very much, got on TikTok and he was like, I think that Chappell Roan is being hit with a smear campaign, and I fell for it. And so I guess that I didn't see the previous video, but he was talking about how wrong of her it is to mess with an 11-year-old and that's too far. But he came to his senses, which I really wish more people would. Because how do you not see? I know why you can't see it. It's because you're either misogynistic or lesbophobic. Pick one. That's what's happening with Chappell Roan right now. So some guy who is apparently with Jude Law's ex opens Instagram and goes on this really long rant. He says, I went through a very upsetting situation with my family earlier today. No, he didn't, because he wasn't there. Red flag number one. My wife, at Kat Cavelli, is in Sao Paulo for Lollapalooza, Brazil. This morning, my daughter woke up incredibly excited. She even made a sign because she was so happy to see an artist she really admires, or used to admire. Dude. She's feeling she's more than proud. At Chappell Roan. Tagging her is so immature. By coincidence, they're staying at the same hotel as this artist. During breakfast, the artist walked past their table. My daughter, like any child, recognized her, got excited, and just wanted to make sure it was really her. And the worst part is, what do you mean the worst part? Nothing has happened yet. She didn't even approach her. She simply walked past the singer's table, looked to confirm it was her, smiled, and went back to sit with her mom. She didn't say anything. She didn't ask for anything. What happened next was completely disproportionate. No fucking kidding. A large security guard came over to their table while they were still having breakfast and began speaking in an extremely aggressive manner to both my wife and my daughter, saying that she shouldn't allow my daughter to disrespect or harass other people. Honestly, I don't know at what point simply walking past a table and looking to see if someone is there can be considered harassment. He even said he would file a complaint against them with the hotel while my 11-year-old was sitting there in tears. My daughter was extremely shaken and cried a lot. I've lived with football, public exposure, and well-known people for many years. I think this is an athlete. I don't give a shit. And I understand very well what respect and boundaries are. Do you? What happened there was not that. It was just a child admiring someone. It's sad to see this kind of treatment coming from those who should understand the importance of fans. At the end of the day, they are the ones who built all of this. I sincerely hope this serves as a moment of reflection. No one should have to go through this, especially not a child. At Chappell Roan, for the second time. Without your fans, you would be nothing. And to the fans, she does not deserve your affection. First and foremost, I think when parents get really heated over a situation that they were not even privy to, I take what they say with a grain of salt, because you're a parent, you're going to be biased, and you're going to exaggerate whatever whoever was there told you. And especially if it came from the child, kids just be saying shit, and then parents just take their word for it. It's just what they do, and it's really annoying and immature and stupid. So right off the bat, it cannot be as bad as it was described to you. Furthermore, you were not there. You were not the one supposedly. So why are you the one telling the story? Why are you the one tagging Chappell Roan? You know what I mean? If it was truly so bothersome, why didn't your wife call her out? Why are you taking it upon yourself to speak for your wife and daughter? Of course the wife responded, and they're just doubling down, which I think is insane, but we'll get to that. So this guy literally says what happened next was completely disproportionate. So a large security guard came over to the table and began speaking in an extremely aggressive manner to both my wife and daughter, saying that she shouldn't allow my daughter to disrespect or harass other people. He even said he would file a complaint against them with the hotel. That is not a reasonable reaction to have to an 11-year-old walking up just to look at somebody, not even actually speak to her, in this guy's own words. That literally does not make any sense. Why would that happen? Why would the security guard do that? It literally does not make any sense. It does not align with what we are being told. Red flag number 2, I immediately don't believe you. People were speculating that, inferring for these people, that what really happened was they were probably letting their child run around this breakfast area unsupervised, and she inevitably got reprimanded for it. So now they're freaking the fuck out because they have no sense of responsibility or accountability. That's not me making an accusation. This is just me saying what people have been talking about, trying to make sense of what could have actually happened. Also, notice how this goober just immediately jumps to chastising Chappell Roan, calling out Chappell Roan. But when you read back the story, she actually had no involvement in any of this. The daughter was looking to see if she saw her, and then the security guard supposedly berates the daughter, and the daughter ends up crying. What does that have to do with Chappell Roan? Explain quickly. This doof just immediately jumps to blaming the woman, and the entire internet, oh my God, also immediately takes this guy at his word, just assumes that he must be telling the truth, even though we have absolutely no video evidence. Neither party is providing video evidence. Someone brought up a really good point. I wish I had screenshotted this comment. Someone was like, if this is true, why aren't we hearing the security guard's POV? Why isn't the security guard speaking out? Why isn't the security guard clearing his name? I just thought that was interesting. It may happen. We don't know. But it's been a few days at this point, and they have had more than enough time to speak up and be like, yeah, I was the security guard, and what actually happened was, or I apologize for blah, 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 blah. But very important to keep in mind, we have no proof that that security guard even exists as of right now. But yes, and the entire internet just jumps on board and starts blaming Chappell Roan for a man's actions that she had no say in. And I don't understand how you people are not seeing it. I want to say, 9 times out of 10, people hating Chappell Roan, there's either some underlying misogyny that they have going out, like a creator that I was calling out in the video I made about her paparazzi fight not too long ago on my main channel. It's right here. You can check it out if you want. So like, you can be a woman, you can be presenting as a woman, you can be assigned female at birth and still have misogyny. So trying to be like, no, I'm not misogynist, I'm a leftist, I'm an ally, I'm progressive, that don't mean baby. That don't mean shit. And we must also bear in mind the political climate, rise of fascism, rise of anti-intellectualism, rise of all the bad things that happen in the world. Chappell Roan is a lesbian who has repeatedly called out, you know, the right has called out problematic, bigoted behavior. People were also pointing out, did we just forget that she literally left her label because the CEO was mentioned in the Epstein files? Remember how I said that guy thinks that it's a smear campaign? It absolutely could be, because she has made it into the industry and all she's done so far is call them out. She's damn, not entirely obviously, but close to being the antithesis of everything the industry believes in and does and how they behave. What's not clicking? Of course someone might have it out for her and want to take her down. Duh. And you lemmings are just helping it. You're not even trying to fight back just because you don't like this woman who, can we be so honest, a woman had the nerve to be like, you are not entitled to my time, my personal space, my attention. I do not like rabid fans. I do not like how they disrespect boundaries. I do not like how they get in your business, how they stalk you, how they touch you without consent. Because mind you, when she went on that rant like 2 years ago, it had preceded, I don't think that's the right word. What spurred it was being kissed without her consent, aka assault. And everyone lost their shit because how dare woman tell the world that the world is not entitled to her emotionally, mentally, or physically. If you cannot see the misogyny that is so completely wrapped around every single Chappell Roan controversy, I don't know what the to tell you. So Chappell responds,
I'm just gonna tell my half of the story of what happened today with a mother and child who were involved with a security guard who is not my personal security. I didn't even see a woman and a child. Like, I did not, no one came up to me. No one bothered me.
Pause right there.
I was just sitting.
She didn't even see anybody. So why is this going gung-ho on Instagram, tagging her and blaming her for whatever altercation may or may not have happened?
Breakfast in my hotel. I think these people were staying at the hotel as well. So the fact that, like, a security guard I did not ask the security guard to go up and talk to this mother and child. They did not come up to me. They weren't doing anything. It's unfair for security to just assume someone doesn't have good intentions when they have no reason to believe because there's no action even taken. Like, I do not hate people who are fans of my music. I do not hate children. Like, that is crazy. I'm sorry to the mother and child that someone was assuming something, that you would do something, and that if you felt uncomfortable, that makes me really sad. You did not deserve that.
So Chappell Roan then gets on Instagram and literally says she kind of even sides with these two parents. And she's like, I'm sorry, that shouldn't have happened to you. It's not right for a security guard to do that. If a security guard did do that, he wasn't my security guard. He was like the hotel security guard, not her personal security guard. She did not give the okay to go do that. She was not involved with this random person's decision to do whatever it is they did. And still, people just still believe this guy, and I'm pretty sure, I think the mother like doubles down.
This is the last thing I'm going to say about this now, because it's getting a bit crazy. We noticed a girl walk past with long red hair, very curly, and I said to my daughter, oh, do you think that's Chappell Roan? And she looked and she said, oh my God, Mum, do you think it's her? She didn't have her phone. She didn't try to take a picture. She didn't approach her.
Which I think is convenient, to be honest.
She literally didn't do anything. She just looked at her. Then came the security guard, who, as my husband said, had a very aggressive tone.
You notice how she said, as I said, or as my husband said, your husband who wasn't there? That's interesting. That's really interesting, actually.
For me, I feel like it really overstepped a boundary, because he is quite an intimidating, I don't know if it was her personal security guard, but he was with her. So that is all I know. Did she send him to do it? Again, I don't know. Look, I would like to hope not.
Yeah, her saying, this is the last I'm going to say about it, conveniently after Chappell Roan shuts it down and says, I wasn't there, I didn't know this happened, I'm so sorry. That wasn't my security guard. Are you not commenting on it anymore because because she said that didn't happen, and now you can't keep going because you're going to make an ass of yourself? At least that's what I think. And she was like, but I know for sure that he was with her. He was not hotel staff. That had to be. Okay, but you don't know that. And personally, I think the mom just wasn't telling the full story, and then the husband got all worked up because men cannot help themselves but to insert themselves into problems that they didn't need to be inserted into. But yeah, I feel like the mom just isn't telling the full story, because like I said in the beginning, it doesn't make any sense. The internet has a serious problem with just hearing whatever bullshit and running with it, even if it's so outlandish, even if it's ridiculous, even if it's so obviously not true, just because you guys already don't like someone. And unfortunately for Chappell Roan, once the internet decides that they don't like a woman, mostly because they just think she's annoying and a woman, there's very little that she can do to come back from that. And it's just really aggravating to watch. Even more so, it's aggravating that now I have to get on here and defend a damn celebrity because some of you are so rabid and just have not an ounce of critical thinking in that TikTok rotted brain of yours that you don't know how to question why. You don't know how to spot things that are off in a story. And like, none of us are perfect. I'm not a genius. But it gets to a point where it's like, are we serious? Are we serious? You're believing this without any proof. And then people will be like, oh no, I believe it because she has repeatedly like done bad things to fans. And then others jump in and they're like, okay, what specifically has she done to fans? And then poof, that person just stops replying. Which, circling back into potential alleged smear campaign run by I don't know who, we know from Johnny Depp and Justin Baldoni that PR teams will use like bots and fake accounts to push a narrative, and then the public will pick it up and make it snowball even further. If that's what's happening right now, you're being tricked. Your own internalized bullshit is being used against you to be tricked into a smear campaign. If that's what's happening. So yeah, I think this is stupid. I think the response is stupid. I think the way that the public repeatedly, consistently responds to anything that has to do with Chappell Roan is stupid. I really wish you guys could just admit that you're being misogynistic, and they can never make me hate Chappell Roan. When Chappell Roan actually does something bad, trust you'll hear it from me. I will be talking about it. Until then, I think you all need to leave her alone and get a fucking grip.